أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. By the barakah of Sidi Shaykh Muhammad Faouzi Karkari قدس الله سره. Some notes from the Mudhakara of January 18, 2023, Part 2. Before starting this video, I would like to state that this work would never have seen the light without Sidi Shaykh Qaddasallahu Sirrah. If something is wrong in this video, it will be from myself, and everything that is correct is from Sidi Shaykh. So after having his father's agreement to travel to Temsaman, Sidi Shaykh returned home. He found his mother preparing the table for lunch. She asked him where his father was. Sidi Shaykh replied that he will arrive soon. She then invited him to wait for his father to have lunch together. He refuses and informs her that he is going to travel to Temsaman. Sidi Shaykh went down to his room to prepare for his trip. He opened his clothes to take some clothes, but he only found fashion clothes at the time, like jeans, sportswear, etc. He started thinking how he's going to enter to Khulwa with those clothes. It wasn't even possible to go to the mosque with them. Then what about the Khulwa, which is considered more sacred to him than the mosque? He started burning everything that he cannot use to go to the mosque, and he gave away everything else. He was left with only two things: a aba'a of his brother Ahmed and a jalbab of his father Mulay Tayyib. He was surprised because all he had left was not his. It's like he got rid of a part of his past. He also wore some old sandals and packed all his diplomas and souvenirs in a small suitcase. At this point, he has nothing left except his phone. He took out the SIM card and broke it and gave the phone to his mother. Then he left the house. To insist on the sincerity of his decision, he went to the barber to shave all of his beard and his hair, as the beard gave him the appearance of someone who has faith. The first stop in Sidi Shaykh's trip was a small village called Bin Tayyib. It was the time of Salat al-Asr when he arrived there, so he went to the mosque where they always used to pray when traveling to Temsaman. When he entered the mosque, it was still empty, and there was a big board in the mihrab where the divine name Allah was written. He prayed some rawatib in front of the name, as it was in the mihrab. Then he prayed Salat al-Asr with the imam and left. After leaving the mosque, Sidi Shaykh paid attention to his suitcase. He felt that it represented a great burden for him. He wanted to cut with his past. He then bought a lighter and set everything in the suitcase on fire. He just kept the suitcase in which he put his brother's aba'a. He was meant to ride another taxi to reach Temsaman, but he decided to continue his way walking. He also decided to take off his sandals and to continue the path barefoot. He realized that the more he suffers to achieve his goal, the better the result will be. At the moment, Sidi Shaykh was putting on a hood that was hiding him, so he decided to take it off so that everyone would recognize him. He continued then his way. He was walking and looking sometimes up to the sky and sometimes down to the ground. Just after some moments, Allah sent to him his light that was brighter than a sun. The sky became full of light and he can't see the ground anymore. Sidi Shaykh did not know at that time that it was the divine light. He thought that for his sincerity in what he's doing, Allah accepted his repentance, but he took his sight instead. He assumed that he will completely lose his sight in some time, so he was trying to reach his uncle's house as soon as possible. He feared nothing at that time because he was trained in his 10 years of siyaha to walk and sleep wherever he was. The only thing he feared was the dogs, because he got bitten by a dog when he was a child. And coincidentally, a dog crosses his path and begins to attack him. He wasn't a skinny dog that you meet in the streets, but a really big dog, a well-bred dog. Sidi Shaykh then said to himself that if he is going to be eaten by the dog so that his repentance is completely accepted, he has no problem with that. The dog started to go back and forth and attacked him just in the part where he was bitten in the past. This is where the last amount of fear just disappeared. And suddenly the dog started to caress Sidi Shaykh and accompanied him as if he was his owner. He walked with him for a while until the family that owned the dog came and took him back. After a moment, Sidi Shaykh arrived to the house of his uncle and Al-Hajj Al-Hassan opened the door. He already knew that Sidi Shaykh was coming as member of his family saw him in the village. He was with his son, called Tahir, and Sidi ibn Sini, who is now a disciple of Sidi Shaykh. Sidi Shaykh ran toward Al-Hajj Al-Hassan and kissed his foot, but he pushed him away in an aggressive way. Then he ordered his son to accompany Sidi Shaykh to the bus station and send him back home. Sidi Shaykh refused and told Al-Hajj Al-Hassan that he will not return home and that he did a siyaha for 10 years on the earth. Now he will continue his life in a siyaha on the sea if he doesn't accept him. This is when he accepted him and told him to go wash himself from the dust and he will see what he will do with him. Sidi Shaykh spent then the rest of the day with the family. He prayed and dined with them, and when the time of sleeping came, Al-Hajj Al-Hassan called Sidi Shaykh. He put a subha in his hand and gave him bay'ah, the pact. Sidi Shaykh didn't know at that time what was the bay'ah for, or what was the word, etc. So when he woke up at the last third of the night, he started to see the light again on the praying carpet, but he still didn't realize that this was the divine light. After that, he took the Mus'haf and started to read Surah At-Tawbah with a lot of difficulties as he can't see the letters because of the light. He prayed as-subh and practiced dhikr of istighfar as he didn't know the word. The morning came. Sidi Shaykh heard his Shaykh telling his daughter to prepare a room that they were willing to use as a guest shower in the future. This is when Sidi Shaykh Qaddasallahu Sirrah understood that he will enter to Khulwa. We will stop here for this video and we will try to continue the story of Sidi Shaykh in the next videos. والحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق اللهم لك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.